Today I'm listing my top 5 BLs that will make you cry. Coming in at number 5 is The Director Who Buys Me Dinner. Donbaek is our protagonist who's cursed because he is named after a god. And who named him, you might ask? Udam, a noble from the family that Donbaek was a slave for 400 years ago. Now, after 4 reincarnations, Donbaek ends up working at an entertainment company, and none other than Udam is the president of this company. And the first thing he says to Donbaek is, if we don't date, we die. How would you feel if someone just came up to you and said that? In this day and age, This story is very well paced and has a nice supernatural element to it. And honestly, the tears will flow once you see the love that these two characters have for each other and they develop over time. And the thought of losing each other just... Give me a moment. This series is available on iQIYI with a subscription. Please go enjoy. Next, coming in at number 4 is Be My Favorite. Be My Favorite is interesting because it plays with the thought of being able to travel back in time and change your future for the better. Starring Chris Pitapat and gawinkrist, this series follows the story of Gawi and Pisang's relationship and how it develops over time, or past, or in the future, or in the present. Let's just say there's a lot of going back and forth. Gawi and Pisang start off with a quote-unquote rivalry, which is very one-sided for the heart of Hemai, but end up finding love in each other because of a secret Mr. Pisang has the entire time. This series carries us through the life of Gawi and Pisang and how their relationship changes over time, whether Gawi goes and changes something up with the past or keeps it in the future. There's a lot of roller coaster in this series. But one thing I can promise you is that you will cry. It is filled to the brink with heart-wrenching moments and self-discovery and characters coming out of loneliness and heartbreak. And it's just such a good series. And I think it is heavily, heavily underrated. But that's just my opinion. Go check it out. You can watch this for free on GMMTV's YouTube channel, so go check it out. Now, number 3 is a little bit interesting based off the premise of someone falling in love with a ghost. Creepy, right? This series stars ohmsingto and ohmsingto Prataya. He's Coming to Me is about a boy named Met who mysteriously dies, and for 20 years he is waiting for his reincarnation. But all of that changes when he meets a boy named Toon. Toon is the only one that comes to visit Met at every Qingming festival, and so he grows fond of him. But Toon starts to get suspicious about how Met actually dies because Met doesn't remember. So Toon starts to investigate and finds some interesting facts, and there's a huge twist, but I promise you the story will definitely make you cry because of the relationship that is built between Met and Toon, which is interesting because how can you be attached to someone that you never had and be afraid of losing something that you never got in the first place? I don't know. Y'all tell me. But definitely check it out. You can check this series out on iWantTV, the app or the website, as well as GMMTV for free. Number 2 is one of my personal favorites, and that is Last Twilight, starring Jimmy and Seay. They play the characters Mok and Day. Mok being burdened by heavy debt, so he will do anything he can to try to bring himself out of his situation. Unfortunately, he gets into some trouble, ends up going to jail, but after his sentence, with finding a job, he ends up being Day's caregiver. Day is a retired athlete who suddenly lost his sight because of a car accident between him and his brother Knight. In this series, we go on a journey with Mok and Day and how they came to build this deep love for each other. This series has its highs and lows, and you will definitely cry multiple times. I say this with every series on this list, but this is the first one where you will cry pretty much throughout the entire series. I'm not joking. If you have a heart, that is. This series is also available on GMMTV's official YouTube channel with subs and for free, so go watch it and tell me how you liked it. Coming in at number 1 is the oh so amazing, a masterpiece. Maybe I'm biased to this one, I don't know. It's History 3, Make Our Days Count. Now I know. A lot of people don't want to admit that there is another episode past episode 9. I get it. I get it. That's how traumatic it is. When a series makes people want to forget the ending, do I have to say anything else? Do I have to say anything else? This series centers around two couples, Hao-ting and Shigu, as well as Bo-xiang and Shigang. When I tell you, the couple that's gonna make you cry is Hao-ting and Shigu. If you haven't seen it, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it follows these two couples from high school all the way into adulthood and how their love progresses from then until now. This series is starring Wayne Song, Hwang Chun-chi, Wilson Liu, and Thomas Chang. In my opinion, and again, I might be biased here, it is a masterpiece and it is one of my favorite BL series of all time. I know there are heart-wrenching moments and there are moments that we probably want to forget, but I honestly watch this series whenever I need a good cry. Whenever I need to feel something, I watch this series and I cry my eyes out. It never fails. But you can watch this series on Caravan or Viki with a subscription. Make sure you check it out and come back here and tell me how much you loved it or how much trauma you incurred from watching the series. That's my top 5 series that will make you cry. Let me know in the comment section below if there are any series that you would have put on this list instead. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow all of my social media. Everything is in the description box below, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.